guys! Sorry if I sound a little bit weird. My voice is kind of sore right now. I just woke up not too long ago and I was thinking about this all night. I was thinking about how much I love making video and editing it and the whole process. Even though I know I'm not very good at it, it's still really fun. So last night, like 3 or 4 in the morning, I was just thinking, what could I do that was like simple and short? Like my last video was really long, and I knew it was really long. I knew it was too long. No one was really going to watch it. But anyway, not the point. The point is that I want to make a video today. This is 10 random facts about me, which was actually a lot harder to think up than I thought it would be. Number 1. I am actually diagnosed OCD. I was at a very young age, so this doesn't necessarily mean that I'm like afraid of every germ out there or whatever. Mine usually applies to whenever I'm doing a project. Namely, when I was in school, schoolwork was really hard for me. So an example is if I'm doing something and I want it to be perfect because I'm a perfectionist and I can't seem to be getting it perfect, so I'll do it over and over and over and over and over again. That's the compulsion. It kind of takes over my life with stress and everything. So yeah, it's a big part of my life. That's why I say it up front. I think it's one of those really misunderstood diagnoses that people pigeonhole it into a certain area and don't think about it in other aspects of life other than germs or something. Number 2. I am not a redhead. You might have seen other videos of me where I have red hair, and I did that while I was in Nashville for a little bit. And actually, I had coworkers and other people assume that I was a redhead because I'm incredibly pale skin, and so it just kind of looked natural on me. I guess I blame the whole idea of doing it on the fact that I love red hair because of people like J.K. Rowling making the Weasleys, or my obsession with Ed Sheeran, and I think red hair is the most beautiful color. It just, I just love red hair. Number 3. When I was little, I was in the Seattle earthquake of 2001. It was a big deal at the time, obviously, but luckily it wasn't a big casualty, even though it was a 6.8 on the Richter scale, so it was pretty big. Luckily, where I was at the time, I was kind of up on a mountain, so I didn't feel, I felt it a big time, but my sister, my mom, where our house was, were in the valley, so they felt more of it than I did. But yeah, it was interesting, and it kind of laid out, I've always been interested in science, and in having something like that happen to you, it kind of increases your interest in science, at least it did for me, because seeing the power behind nature itself. Number 4, in that same period of my life, I didn't know that I was thinking this, but I just kind of assumed everyone who was married had to have the same hair color and be the same age, about the same age. And this delusion, I think, came from the fact that that's how it is for my parents. My parents are both brunettes, and they are actually only 10 days apart in age. I would organize my Barbies by hair color. It sounds weird and almost racist now. Like, it wasn't like that for me as a kid. It was just like, oh, my parents are like that, so, you know, that's how everyone is. Obviously, I quickly grew out of that. Number 5, I love science, but I hate math. And I love English, but I am an awful speller. And these contradictions have haunted me my entire life. My school life, my personal life. You wouldn't think it'd be that big of a deal, but it is, especially if you're thinking about careers, because it's kind of hard to be like, oh, I'm going to pursue a career in science, and then realize you're going to be awful at the math portion of it. Like I thought of zoology, or when I was younger, astronomy. So those things, while I would love to do them, I don't know how I'd get past all the math. And with English, luckily, we live in a time of spell check, but even spell check can't understand me half the time, so. Number 6. I waited until I was 21 before I watched my first R-rated movie. I know that sounds super ridiculous to most people. It was a personal choice. I just wanted to wait until I felt ready. And it was after I moved out from my family's home at the time. Now I'm back there. Um, anyway. Um, and I just felt like it was a group of friends going out. They're going to go see this movie. It happened to be R-rated. And I was like, and the movie premise sounded interesting. I'll tell you what it is in a second. And I was like, you know what? I feel like I'm ready. I feel like I'm mature enough. And I probably was mature for many, many, many years before. I just didn't. I wanted to hold myself back. I wanted to pace myself. As I say, like, savor some of my innocence of childhood, you know, for as long as I possibly could. Because I think people give that up really early. And the movie was Lucy, and yeah, I thought it sucked. I liked the whole idea of, like, being able to use all of your brain, which actually, thinking on it, it was a dumb premise because you use your whole brain. You don't use 10% of it. We're not going to get into all the science of that. Point is, I didn't like it. I was like, and it didn't need to be rated R. There was, like, nothing in it. I don't really know. Anyway, it was kind of a disappointing experience, but since then it's helped me open up to see other films that, because I am such a film lover, it opened up to those experiences for me. Number 7. I am not a natural musician. If you've seen my other videos, I've done a couple of covers of songs that aren't that great, but I love to play music. I've played clarinet, piano, violin for a very short period of time, and I play guitar, but all of those have been taught to me. I do not know how to sit down and hear a song out, and it's really, really hard for me because I wish I could, because I, for my entire life, wanted to be a professional musician and singer-songwriter, and we could get into all that another time, but basically I don't know how to sit down and just hear a song. Number 8. I wanted it for years, but after 7th grade, my finally let me be homeschooled. I had been through a lot and had been to many schools. Man, I sound nasally. And I was getting bullied at school and a bunch of crap. And so I had some friends that were also homeschooled. So with their input in my situation, for various things, my OCD, my fibro, the bullying going on, for all those reasons, and just my desire, I became homeschooled through high school. I skipped 8th grade. It helped shape me as a person in all the good and bad ways. One of my most positive public school experiences was 4th grade, and my 4th grade teacher was named Mr. Karras, and he read us some of the books from the Chronicles of Narnia. He was a very outspoken Christian, and just a really great man and a really great teacher. And him reading those books to me and the rest of the class really sparked my love for fantasy. And because before that I was more science driven, and I didn't like things that didn't seem like real, intangible as much, other than, like, you know, Disney movies. But it was a different experience. It just opened my eyes to a lot of things, and if it wasn't for that, I don't know if I would love half the stuff I love these days, like Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Doctor Who, like all that kind of stuff. And number 10, I am not a cat person nor a dog person. I am an animal person. I love animals of all shapes, sizes, types, everything. I am an arachnophobe, and so spiders really scare me. I wish they didn't. Rationally, I know that they are really good for the environment. In almost all cases, they're a positive thing, but I have an irrational fear of their little legs and little pinchers, and they just scare me. And also crabs. Crabs are not cool to me. They're the same thing. I say they're the spiders at the beach. So yeah, I think that's it. That's just 10 random facts about me that you you probably didn't even care to know. But I just felt like making a video, and this is what I could think of at 3:30 in the morning. I don't know what time it was. Irrelevant. Thank you if you watched this all the way through. I just have a lot of fun making these, even if they're not always the best. Playing with my hair too much. Another little thing about me. Ooh, learning so much. God bless. Peace out.